Okay, everybody. I'm very sorry for my fan, but there is some shit that needs to be talked about. This is an old document, but supposedly they're going to be at a Dreamgrove soon. So, I want to mock all this bullshit that these nons are trying to say about the map. And by nons, I mean the people who get pissed off because they don't know how to play it, right? So let me read some of this out in case you guys don't know how to. Okay, this actually doesn't matter, but this kind of does. So I guess I'll go over this. So there's the play to win category and the play for fun category. I fall into the play to win, but according to this, most people fall under the play for fun, which I believe is true. So play to win. We want fast games, shorter rushes, and we use strategies. Not necessarily highly refined, but we definitely do use strategies, keyword. Winning is important, yeah. Stats are I care about my stats, but I still play with my 3FKDR friends, so I can't really say that I'm like an insane stat person, but I'm up there. As a result, they want to win as many games as fast as possible. No time for the lobby. No, but also kind of, yeah, I don't know, somewhere in between. More likely to get involved in the community, such as guilds, forums, or discords, yeah. Now we got play for fun. Longer games. The same thing, but in a longer sentence. Winning is nice. I'd also like to tell you to keep this in mind. Winning is nice, but an exciting game is important. Their enjoyment is less dependent on winning. Many will not complain if their favorite map is removed. They don't care about their stats is what this one says. As a result, they go into lobbies after games. They don't play as much is what that one says. Alright, so keep this and keep this. These two in mind. Keep those in mind, alright? Let's scroll down a little bit. The removal of Dreamgrove. Many disliked it. So this little paragraph, if you want to call it, goes over the little rating system in lobbies after you've played your game, where you can vote the map 1 through 5, 5 being the highest, 1 being the lowest. That's all that this is about. And then there's also a forum, but everyone knows that hypixel doesn't care about their forums as they auto-deny 99.999% of mute and banner appeals as soon as they're posted or a few hours later. So anyways, yeah, forum kind of useless. When we design a map rotation, it is for all players. The trouble is, the two groups want very different maps a lot of the time. Dreamgrove was removed because it was the worst rated map, by far, according to the map feedback system. It also, at the time, had very mixed responses on the forum. We knew it was controversial to remove Dreamgrove. If the removal of Invasion proved anything, it's that the groups can have wildly differing opinions. However, we also had thousands of players saying they hated the map. The backlash. Also known as me. And then also the people that know how to play BedWars. It was made very clear that players on the forum wanted it back. However, these are the vocal minority. Even though the play to win is a minority, they actually have much more influence. This is because they are more likely to communicate what they like and dislike about maps. Bringing the map back right away was not an option. The fact of the matter is, it is simply not an enjoyable map for the large number of players. But it is also a very enjoyable map for a lot of our other players. We're going to upset a lot of people regardless of what we do. The proposal of a proposal. The way I see it, there are two ways to fairly proceed. Option number 1. Keep it out of rotation for a few months to give those who dislike it a break. Leave the map unchanged so that when it comes back, it'll be the same. Option number 2. Discuss changes to the map to resolve some of the issues the players have with it. Bring the map back next rotation if the changes are agreed upon. Given that option number 1 is essentially the do-nothing option, and option number 2 is simply a discussion at this stage, there is little reason not to look at least a little bit into option 2. The feedback we received from the forum gave us a few ideas, but we're open to other ideas. Here are the current issues and changes that have been suggested to us. You thank for good English speaking. Yeah. Alright, so there's 9 little options here. 9 things to talk about, and each of these are very stupid other than this one. I actually sort of agree with this one. This one could be changed. It could be. But the rest of them are retarded. Alright, so the first one, the base holes. The holes in the base are easy to fall into. Put something in them. What this one means is fill in the holes in the base. Like the ones, like where if you spawn, if you walk forward, you'll fall into it. There's 2 holes by the staircase that goes from the bed defense to the forge. There's holes all over Dreamgrove, which I actually really enjoy. Now here's why. As an attacker, as a rusher, you can go in and you can actually start just killing people real easily. Just knock them in these holes, because they're very stupid. They don't know where to stand in order to not get knocked off. They have no idea how to play the map. So they're like, oh yeah, I better stand right on top of my bed defense when there's a hole 5 blocks behind me that I can get one tapped into. Anyways, the nods don't want the holes anymore because they're too tired of being pushed into them. So they're like, oh, fill them in. Now, here's a very simple way to not get knocked into one of these holes on Dreamgrove. So if you're a rusher, rushing on the left side, looking at the bed defense, you can notice to the front right of the bed defense, there's a little bit of wood, and it's like 4 blocks tall and like 3 blocks wide. You can stand with your back to that so that whenever the attacker jumps down, you can like pop out of there and knock him off. It's not really a good hiding spot, but you'll have a very low likelihood of being knocked off. So, even if you do die, you'll give your teammates a little bit of a chance to, get in there and kill the attacker and not lose your bed. And there's also another place you can stand which doesn't offer any hiding at all, but to the left of the bed defense there are some leaves which you can stand with your back to, and then you also won't get one tapped. You might get 3 or 4 tapped, but you won't get one tapped into the void if you're standing with your back to those. There's some very good places to stand. And then also you can modify your bed defense, and I'll put an image of this on screen of something you can do. Basically, so most defenses are like a pyramid, right? So if you stand in front of them and then place like blocks behind you so that you're basically like in a corner. Quick cut in the video, actually. I felt like this would be a better way of explaining things since, most people can't really get what I'm talking about just from me saying it, and I don't think a picture would do, the justice that it kind of needs. But say that the attacker is coming from this general area. All you would need to do, this requires 4 wool, watch. Incredible. And look, you won't get knocked off anymore because you're in here. And if you care that much, you can actually use a 5th and 6th piece of wool, and then now you can't get knocked at all. You'd literally just have to be killed. And this is actually a really nice little trick here too, because you can crit jump people, and crit jumping, for those who know it, it's actually pretty damn OP. So yeah, this is just a standard 2-layer defense, but you can do this for a 3-layer bed defense as well. You can do it for as many layers as you need, and if it's like a square defense, here's just for example, you can do it for this type of defense too, 3-layer. And if for some reason your team builds a square, which isn't really recommended, let's just say that your team has like an endstone square, right? Just like this. You can do the same thing, just like this, and you won't get hit off. It's a very simple method, very useful. Yeah, just pretty nice thing you can do to not get knocked everywhere. So you won't get knocked anywhere. You won't go nowhere at all, which is a very good strategy that most BedWars players don't even know how to do. So yeah, just a lot of easy ways to not get killed that just require very basic levels of game sense that obviously most of the hypixel community is too smooth-brained to have. Alright, so this next one is the one I had the most problem with, other than Forge behind spawn. This is the laziest fucking reason to remove Dreamgrove and change it that I've ever seen in my life. Obstructed View. It's difficult to see your bed or potential attackers while you're in your forge. Okay, how about this? Maybe if you weren't sitting in your forge fucking vacuuming all the resources for 30 minutes a game, you would be able to go other places, kill the other teams, and see attackers. Here's another thing. If you're playing on hypixel, you had to have been able to type the IP in somehow to add it to your server list or to directly connect to it. You have WASD and space on your keyboard, right? And either you have a trackpad or a mouse or some other option that you use in order to turn your screen whilst, playing Minecraft. You can fucking move to go and look around to see if anyone's coming to break your bed or, see your bed for whatever reason you want to see your bed. I don't know. Maybe it looks very pretty in the glowing sunlight. But yeah, this one is extremely fucking lazy. I have no idea why they even put this up here. The flowers on the diamond gen. This is just a little bit of a nitpick, and I can't really like roast the community for oh yeah, remove Dreamgrove for this one. You know, this one's just kind of an annoyance, a little bit of a nitpick, as I said. The flowers and the diamond can get in the way, and what they mean by this, I think this is more actually directed kind of towards the rushers, because there's a little flower 1 block away from the void, and sometimes it kind of gets in the way if you're trying to like start building from there, and it does get in the way sometimes, but it really isn't that big of a problem. You can avoid it pretty easily. So yeah, I mean, this one, it could be removed. They could remove the flowers, but they kind of add to the whole style of the map, the whole feel of it. You know, it's a very kind of tropical, jungly, lush map. The flowers kind of add a little bit more to that. I think they're a nice little detail. They don't really have to be removed, but I mean, they could be, and I wouldn't really be too mad about it. So the very close diamond. So these next two are exactly the same thing. Both of them have to deal with being extremely close, the islands being extremely close to each other, which is the reason why Dreamgrove is a 32 rush no matter which way you're going. Either through mid, left side, or right side. It's 32 blocks either way. And this is what I like the most about the map. This is what most people who like the map, this is what most of them like the most about the map. That it was so incredibly fast. It was so incredibly fast, in fact, that for months on end, I think almost a year actually, the Nons were so fucking clueless that they didn't know how to place a defense before getting their bed destroyed by actually competent players most of the time. And these are the two biggest reasons why most people who dislike Dreamgrove want the map to be removed, which it already has been, of course, as I'm recording this, September 6, 2020. This is the reason why almost everyone wants it removed, who wants it removed. And again, if I scroll back up here, remember when I said to keep an eye on these. They do not care about their stats, or they care very little, much more casual. Some of them might care a little bit, but overall, they don't give a damn if they're losing, okay? As a result, I mean, this one doesn't really matter, actually. But winning is nice, but an exciting game is important. Maybe if you guys got better and actually learned how to fend off opponents, you'd get an exciting game. You probably wouldn't win, but you'd get your exciting game. And as their enjoyment is less dependent on winning, many will not complain if their favorite map is removed. So if Hypixel said, oh, well, fuck Bulletum and Shreenant tomorrow, these guys wouldn't care, is what they're saying. But of course, they decided to move the one map that all, I guess, professional BedWars players would say is a very, very good map, I obviously can't speak for every good BedWars player, but me, yeah, Dreamgrove is amazing. It's so easy to get fast wins in a lot of finals. Dreamgrove was the map where I set the daily threes record for both wins and finals, along with 6 of the Great and Moncons. I got 841 final kills in one day. Now, that doesn't show anything other than I don't have a life, and they don't have lives either. But Dreamgrove, I couldn't have done it. I couldn't have done that without Dreamgrove, which is just why it's such an absolutely insanely good map. And literally, my 841 finals and 210 wins that day was completely dependent on the fact that nobody knew how to play it, right? Because absolutely no one did. And again, they don't care about their stats. They don't care about winning. So why the fuck do they care? Why do they want it to be removed? If they're dying in the first 30 seconds of the game, why do they even stay on Dreamgrove? I don't think that half of Hypixel, probably more, knows that you can run a command that will put you in another game before you even have to start the game. So say for instance you queue Dreamgrove, you don't have MVP plus or MVP plus plus, and you've already used your daily map selection. If you're below those ranks, you can't queue a map that you want to queue. Well, there's a command, and for threes, this command is /play BedWars _4_3. 4 referring to the amount of teams, 3 referring to the amount of players on these teams, and for fours, believe it or not, it's /play BedWars _4_4. You can run these commands, and it will warp you and your entire party, if you have one, into a completely new pre-game lobby. It doesn't, it will take you off of Dreamgrove. None of this would have needed to happen if the popularization of those two commands was implemented on the hypixel network. There's a reason the /play command exists, and it's so that you can quickly navigate between two games, right, without really having to go in the lobby necessarily, unless you're trying to pick the map, which of course most people will be trying to pick the map. And another thing that you can do is before the game starts, you can type two commands, /L and /pwarp or /partywarp if you feel like typing 4 extra characters for no reason, right? You can type those, and then it will warp you and your party back in to the actual BedWars lobby, and then you can just keep joining games from there until you find a map that you like, or a map that isn't Dreamgrove, a map that you will play on, we'll say, because it doesn't necessarily have to be Dreamgrove, because some other people won't play other maps as well. But if those three commands were popularized on the hypixel network, sorry for my voice cracks, very late, I am 14. If those were popularized, so many more people wouldn't have had a problem with Dreamgrove. If the nods didn't want to play Dreamgrove, they would just not even play it. They don't have to. They're not being forced to. Nobody's being forced to play Dreamgrove. So if they're so pissed off at its existence, maybe they should stop playing it or get better, or learn to like it, These two are the ones that piss me off the most, because these are solely dependent on game sense. If you know how to play the game, you're going to be able to attack the teams the most effectively. If you suck at the game, you don't know that you're going to get 32 rushed in the first 30 seconds of the game, lose your bed, and probably get team wiped, because you suck. Get better, okay? That's the issue that I have with this, because you suck, and now you got my favorite map removed, so fuck you. Alright, so now we're going to move on to the Upper Emerald. I've never heard anyone, not even a non, say this in a game, but the Upper Emerald spawn is annoying to reach, causing most players not to bother. Make it easier to get up top. There's already a fucking staircase. Shut the fuck up. This one's so benign. BedWars players are just absolutely retarded. Now, again, as I said at the beginning of the video, this one I might argue for, depending on the way that they do it, alright? If they do this in the correct way, then yes, I would vote to change this. But as it is now, I don't have a fucking issue with it. Shut the fuck up about this one as well. Forge behind spawn. This one is almost as lazy as the one that's covering the obstructed view, because walking backwards when spawning does not walk you into the forge. Well, as long as BedWars players have the keyboard and mouse that they had to use in order to type in the IP to the fucking server, they can use those tools to actually get themselves in the gen. It's not much of an argument here. Stop being fucking lazy, shitters. Alright, and then the diamond layout. This one's also stupid. There isn't much room on the diamond island. Adjust it by making the island bigger. Shut up, find something else to do, get a life. I mean, I can't really be saying to get a life with my 58.7 thousand finals, but shut the fuck up and get a life. Alright, that's my 2 cents, or, more like $200, because what I said is way more valuable. What the fuck? What I said is way more valuable than what any of these fucking stupid nons just said, and these 9 quote-unquote arguments here. So there's my $200 about Dreamgrove. If you dislike this video, then shut the fuck up. And like the video and subscribe to me anyways, so you can be pissed off at me later for being more correct than you. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys agree with me, because if you don't, as soon as the new, messed up, probably shittier Dreamgrove is back, I'm going to fuck you up even harder than I did to the other 20,000 some odd finals that I got on Dreamgrove, alright? Alright, have a good day, have a good night, whatever the fuck time it is for you, whatever religion, country, 14-7 you're in. Yeah, good day, goodbye, shut up, no,